Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It is Thursday morning, and as usual, there is a lot of information. We have a lot of updates, and of course, I brought my receipts, pictures, and video. You know me. If I can't prove it, I won't say it. So there's a lot. Let's jump in and let's get busy, shall we? Let's go. We're starting off with Queen Camilla. She visited the Green Man Humpty Dumpty egg, which is installed outside the King's Gallery at Buckingham Palace in aid of Elephant Family. This is part of their charity. It's Elephant Family, which is the conservation charity founded by Queen Camilla's late brother, Mark Shand. It's 2 feet high, and it's one of 123 that make up the big egg hunt. The eggs are located all over London, and you have to go find them. I think that's pretty cool. They're located at places like the Royal Albert Hall and Covent Garden. There is an app, and you can collect the eggs free on the app. It reveals prizes along the way, and then the eggs will be sold at a silent auction on April 27th to help raise money. Love it. Also on April 1st, Queen Camilla was with Denise Welsh and some other high-named people, Janet Street Porter, at a reception at Clarence House that took place that Tuesday. And this is at an event that marks Safe Lives Charity's 21st anniversary. There were about 100 guests, including some survivors, frontline personnel, and supporters of the charity, which helps to get rid of and eradicate domestic abuse. Camilla cut an absolutely gorgeous cake to celebrate their milestone and was honored with a Starfish Award, a recognition of her support for survivors. Love it. Moving on to King Charles, he held an investiture at Windsor Castle. He must be feeling better. First up was Alan Titchmarsh, received a CBE for services to the horticulture and to charity. Katarina Johnson Thompson received an MBE for services to athletics. I love her outfit. We had Professor Sir Wayne McGregor, who received a knighthood for services to dance. Marianella Nunez received an OBE for services to dance, and many more. This is the King's 4th investiture of 2025 and the 11th of the royal family. William held the 4th and the 7th. Charles held the 3rd, 5th, 8th, and 11th, and all the others were held by Princess Anne. All right, next up, an ex-girlfriend of Prince Andrew, her name is Lady Victoria Hervey. She said, if it's true that Virginia Giuffre actually had an accident, and if it's true that she's going to pass away, then she needs to make a complete confession. She also said, I don't believe she's dying. The FBI are on her right now and arrest warrants are coming, and she's conveniently dying to try to evade jail. I mean, she is the queen of the fake photo after all, hence I'm such a skeptic and don't believe in jumping to any conclusions right away from a visual. Good point. I mean, after all, this whole thing with Andrew was based on a picture that the original has never been found and she's never been able to produce it. So, yeah. So I've told you guys before that you can't always believe everything that this woman says because she's perjured herself. And here's the statement she put up where she says, I've got like 4 days to live. Now she's saying she mistakenly posted that claim. It's not real. Now we do know that she is separated from her husband that you can see above. She's having issues with her dad that you can see above. And this was all some sort of pity ploy, I think. I think it's going to rebound on her. And of course, it didn't take long. It came out that this girl was charged with breaching a family violence restraining order against her husband, and the police were looking for her. So this is exactly what I said initially it was. Remember, the police said it was a minor accident, minor damage, no injuries. And Miss Giuffre is now speaking out saying the police were called, but no one was available. And they said if anyone was injured, they should make their way to the hospital. She said, I was banged up and bruised and I went home, but my condition worsened and I was later admitted to the hospital. And by the way, she said that post that she put up about having 4 days to live was supposed to be on her private Facebook group. In the meantime, she is facing court. Her case was initially heard on March 14th, and now she's supposed to be back in court on April 9th. I'm telling you guys, anytime this woman speaks, you best take it with a grain of salt, because damn. All right, let's move on. All right, back to Sentebale. It's never-ending drama. They're saying that Harry feels like he's had a finger cut off since this all happened. Let's not forget that since the mass exodus, Dr. Chanduka has made a raft of allegations against Harry, causing him of bullying and harassment, as well as sending unpleasant and imperious messages to her after she failed to publicly squash rumors of a rift with Meghan Markle. So Harry doesn't want to speak out because he knows if he says anything wrong, he could get in trouble. So I told you he hired a friend of his, Alex Rayner. That's who spoke out on his behalf. But what you guys may not know is that Alex Rayner is a PR guru. That's right. He hired somebody whose specialty is PR to try to get him out of this mess. He co-founded the city-based PR agency Captive Minds Communications, then took a shareholder role. And he's a veteran of the media industry and has worked with some of the most adventurous global brands, as you can see, Virgin, William Grant & Sons. So yes, this is who Harry asked to speak out for him. The problem is some of the stuff he said is not sitting well with people. I don't think it was a smart thing to say that the reason that this all happened was because this woman had her nose out of joint, because she wasn't the most important colored person on the podium. That just does not go down well with people. So they're using Dr. Sophie's race against her. Basically, the other thing he said was Meghan did not have to RSVP like everybody else. And then they tried to pressure her to put out a statement while gaslighting her. Yeah, basically, the statements this man made just shore up Sophie Chanduka's thought process on the entire thing. Another interesting point for those of you who may not remember this, don't forget I told you the other day that Harry tried to trademark Sentebale. It was for mental health, remember? Because he was going to try to put Better Up in with Sentebale, because that's how he's managing to wheedle his way into all of his, charities. In the meantime, this poor woman got piled on so bad by the Sussex squad that Dr. Chanduka had to shut down her Twitter account. She had to shut down her social media because of the online bullying, including racism. If you can believe it, one troll who uses hashtag Team Sussex called her a house Negro, which is a derogatory and racist term used to compare black people with slaves. She was branded a fraud who is jumping on the bandwagon of hate. There were bizarre and baseless conspiracy theories, including the false suggestion that she is in the employ of William and Catherine or the royal family to bring down the charity that Harry set up. Now, for those of you who know the Sussex Squad and how it works, this is what they do. They bully you, they pile on, they make horrible allegations without any proof. They contact your job. They contact your family. They try to find you and they try to bully you into silence. She has been accused of criminal behavior. She's been accused of trashing Princess Diana's memory. Now, here's the interesting thing. They're making a point of saying this pile-on has nothing to do with the Sussexes themselves. No. But it doesn't look that good that this is from their fan base. They have campaigned against cyberbullying and misinformation on social media, and I'm sure that they will be appalled. However, let me let you know before that they've been called before and notified about what the Sussex Squad was doing, and all they had to do was put out a statement and say, we don't approve of this, please stop. We're trying to fight misinformation. We're trying to fight online bullying. Please stop. But they've never once spoken out against the Sussex Squad, and we've talked about this before because it appears that some of the Sussex Squad are on the payroll. When Dr. Chanduka said that the Sussex brand was toxic and accused Harry of the harassment and bullying at scale, I think this is what she meant. I think she meant the Sussex Squad, because Harry and Meghan do absolutely nothing to control them. All it would take is a statement, but they won't do it. They stayed silent when Catherine was being bullied. Remember that? So I guess it's not going to be any different for this one. Now, in the meantime, Sentebale has expressed their gratitude for helping to raise money for Sentebale in the past. But as you can see, they'll attack anybody. A waste man who spent years in politics and has not made a meaningful impact. A coconut who's done nothing to help black people and says horrible things. You get the point? What they're saying now is Harry may not know Meghan Markle at all, because let me just say, they're saying he may have bitten off more than he can chew with Dr. Chanduka, because for the first time in his life, he's being challenged by a woman who isn't afraid of him. She's whip smart and is refusing to take the blame for the charity's declining funds because she believes the toxicity of the Sussex brand is responsible for that, and she very well could be right. Harry was the most popular royal, and now he's like at the very bottom. So people are saying since the day he met Meghan, he has taken it upon himself, whether he needed to or not, to step in and defend her. He defended her publicly when he thought she was being subjected to racism in the UK. He condemned his own family as racist because of a conversation that took place about what color the baby's skin might be. So people are wondering now what has happened that he can no longer defend himself and had to get his PR friend to do it. So now we know that these accusations are absolutely cataclysmic for the Sussexes. With all of the bullying allegations and the dictator Duchess, Meghan is trying so hard to make people not look at it, but you can't take your eyes off of it. She always has to be in control. Now, a perfect example of this happened 2 years ago in May of 2022, the Nixon Memorial Trophy at the Santa Barbara Polo Club in California. Now, they actually played the game. They didn't win. This was like a semifinal, but they made sure to get the pictures with the trophy. So if you've been living under a rock and you didn't see this, Meghan made her way up onto the stage, handed out these boxes to everybody, goes out of her way to give Harry a kiss, make sure she puts her hands on both sides of his face while doing so, then goes, Harry, look at me, lipstick, lipstick. She smiles, she's doing like, this is like a Pretty Woman moment. You get what I'm saying? Nacho tells her, get into the middle. So Meghan gets into the middle for the photos, looks at the young guy next to her, grabs his box, tries to make him hold it up for the photo. She's like, come on, hold it up. And then they lift up the cup and she's wearing this ridiculous wide-brimmed hat. So look at this. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen. You can't see her. So they suddenly realize it and they're like, duck under, Meghan. So she ducks under and then does this weird seal clapping thing that she always does. But it was absolutely hilarious. And the truth is she had no business on the stage. She had absolutely nothing to do with this polo match. And FYI, in case you didn't know it, she did the I'm going to copy Diana look also. Now, this is no different than what happened at the Sentebale polo match when Meghan walked onto the stage again to hand the trophy, which I'm really not sure why she was the one doing that. That's not her place. But once again, she made sure she was right smack in the middle of all the players during the photos. And then when Sophie Chambuca came up on the stage to take the pictures, that was when she wanted to stand next to Harry, and Meghan was having absolutely none of it. So here she comes. She's trying to hold on to the trophy, and Meghan's like, over here, over here, over here, over here, and made the woman duck and move to the other side. She wouldn't let her stand near Harry. This was just unnecessary, and Meghan wasn't supposed to be up there. Now, as all of this is going on, Harry decides this is the right time to appear in a video from his house to mark the publication of Travelist's 5-year milestone report. Remember, he founded the not-for-profit organization in 2019 to make tourism more environmentally friendly. So in this 2-minute-long video, he marked the publication of a landmark report by the organization where he highlights the industry's power to drive positive change at a critical moment. There's just a little bit of a problem with that. While Harry was announcing this new environmental initiative, somebody asked him about the fact that he and Meghan had taken 4 private jet trips in 11 days. And his response to that was, there are unique circumstances where I have to keep my family safe. And that's the only time that we'll use private jets. But I'll offset my carbon CO2 as I always do. Of course, we've never seen any proof that he actually does that. Now, that was 2019. By 2022, they were up to 21 private jet trips and counting, because we know they've gone to Canada and back, and they fly everywhere by private jet. And then, of course, we heard a report that they had bought their own private jet. So to this day, I have not been able to figure out why anybody thinks that we would listen to anything he says about sustainable travel. It's the same thing that he's always done. Rules for thee, but not for me. And finally, you know I work 24 hours behind, so by the time you're listening to this on Thursday, the As Ever has launched. But of course, Meghan put up a video. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. She's standing in front of this huge stove, and for some reason, the two pots that she can barely reach are on the back burner while the lids are on the front burner, and she's dancing in front of it while she's stirring the pots. There's something really weird going on with this whole thing, especially with the Sentebale bullying claims and everything else happening. She's trying to do the, don't look over there, look over here, pay attention to me, and she's got all of her stuff out there. She's not responsible for any of the products. Now, I did see this on Twitter, which I thought was hilarious, by Her Most Imperial Majesty. She had a vase made from the logo, and actually, she is correct. She did. Here, let me zoom in a little bit for you. Yep, she sure did. I will keep an eye on this for you guys, and I'll let you know what happens in the next video. You guys know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe button, and the bell for all notifications. Go down into the description box where you'll find the link to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, my Amazon wish list, a link to my father's book, which is up for sale on Amazon, and a link to my other channel, as well as a physical address. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.